Also, I didn't even mention, and I don't know if they flashed the picture yet or not, but if you haven't, flash it now. All right, Big Bang, it's the rundown. It is Thursday, October 24th. Today's rundown is brought to you by NASCAR. NASCAR Homestead Miami offers a one-of-a-kind racing experience. The track is located between the vibrancy of South Beach and the calm of the Keys. Drivers will be leaving it all on the track October 26th and the 27th as they compete to make it into the championship four for a chance to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship in Phoenix. Witness the best drivers in motorsports battle it out on this 1.5-mile oval track featuring 18 20-degree variable banking designed to deliver high-speed action and unpredictable finishes. I've been to this track. It's a great time. I highly recommend it. If you're in the area, make the drive. It's definitely worth it. It's going to be a great race. And you could purchase your tickets today for a two back-to-back days of thrilling NASCAR action in the Florida sunshine at Homestead Miami. So go check that out. You can get the tickets at homesteadmiamispeedway.com. Great event, awesome, and I always recommend NASCAR. NASCAR, it's always a blast.
I love NASCAR. I went to Charlotte, had a great time there. 30 packs. That was when I was doing 30 packs. You just put it under your chair and you're just hammering beers. I couldn't imagine being in the Florida sun in the Keys, you said? The
Yeah.
Keys?
Well, it's not
Oh,
in the Keys, but it's like between Miami and the Keys.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Incredible.
it's a good time. All right, here we go. Myself, Robbie Fox, and Clem. First topic of the day, boys. Rob Gronkowski continues to drop stories that Rob Gronkowski does, especially he did in college. Apparently, he bought a hot tub. He drained his bank account with his brothers, and that was the first purchase was a hot tub. Clem, what do you got on Gronk buying a hot tub with no money?
I mean, it's the least shocking thing ever, first of all, but it's also like Gronk gets like all this stuff. Oh, he's a meathead, he's an idiot. That's like the smartest thing you could do. How is Gronk the first person I ever heard to buy a hot tub? Even if he had to drain his bank account of every dollar. You guys know when you're in college, especially like new, you got to sometimes make a splash, no pun intended, to like get your name out there. I remember we had like a projector, like as seniors, like, look at these guys, they have a projector. We had a vending machine. A guy took an old vending machine and we put like snacks in it, some booze, condoms as like a joke. And some girls that come over late night to get condoms, which was always a fun little thing. And we felt like we were fucking kings. You get yourself a fucking hot tub. I mean, Josh Rosen, the best thing I heard about the guy before the draft was how he had a hot tub in his room as a senior. Gronk does this as a freshman. Incredible move. You kind of put yourself on everyone's radar and you have a fucking hot tub. I love hot tubs. I'm a hot tub guy. I started with inflatable. Now I have a Costco legit hot tub. The only thing is that hot tub, a Gronk hot tub at the University of Arizona, that thing could walk by the end of the first semester. I don't even want to know the shit that was in the water of that hot tub. There's no way he chlorinated it. And there was a lot of stuff put in that hot tub, but that shit was not chemicals, if you know what I mean. So incredible story. You couldn't have paid me to go in that hot tub after the first day.
Robbie.
Yeah, that hot tub was probably like the lake from the Simpsons movie where the fish goes in, it comes out with three eyes, like it's just disgusting. I saw the clip from the Aaron Hernandez show, the one that they're doing, the Ryan Murphy version of it, the Gronk clip that everyone loved. Like the show, everyone's trashing, but that one clip, everyone was like, I don't know, the guy kind of seemed like Gronk in that clip. I now want that guy to just go play Gronk in like a college sitcom, like college Gronk, put it on
Yes.
NBC or maybe even put it on like somewhere where you could go TVMA and just let that guy be Gronk, show us his college years, almost in like a way that they did the TED show. Just make it a dumb, turn your brain off stoner comedy, and I think it'd work.
I think that's basically Blue Mountain State. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but you could just remake it.
Yeah, I've
College
never
Gronk.
watched it from start to finish, but from what I understand, it's basically Blue Mountain State, Robbie. But yeah, remake it with Gronk. Um, it's kind of amazing how this guy's, he's obviously retired now and he's been gone for a couple of years that we're still getting Gronk stories, right? And I know
Yeah.
this, like you said, not a shocker because they're not too dissimilar to each other, but yeah, it's just the relevancy of Gronk is strong.
fact that
Absolutely.
that guy could stay healthy, goes to like the dynasty, which was known as Stuffy and Brady's Mr. Football. It was just so great to have a guy like a big meathead who was so fucking good to watch too on the field. I'm so in. All I can think about is I want to watch College Gronk right now. Like you could do it. You could do it. This it'll be like a live action cartoon too, because that
Yeah.
dude is so over the top. Which, by the way, did you guys see that guy is also playing Jason Kelsey in some like Hallmark movie or something like that?
No.
That I have a problem with that. That guy is Gronk, and you cannot have him
Yeah.
then play Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, who's literally like the Gronk versus Kelsey is going to be the debate we have to hear about ad nauseum once he retires, because it's like the longevity of the career versus like the fucking comet that soared through the sky. And College Gronk is going to be an awesome show. I'm in.
It's like Robert Downey Jr. now playing Doctor Doom. It's like you can't do both, man.
Great call. Look at this. We're bringing the basement to the mainstream here, Bob. And I'm so happy I got my guys. These are two of my guys right here, man. What a great rundown. I'm so proud to be here.
Next topic here. The Clippers got their new stadium. Steve Ballmer broke it in Steve Ballmer fashion. He was leading chants, leading claps, dancing around. Rob, what do you got on Steve Ballmer here dancing?
I got to be honest, I didn't know much about this guy at all. Like, I don't even know how long he's owned the Clippers, but watching this clip, it came off like one of those people sometimes will edit videos of Elon Musk to be like Sims emotes. Like people will hit a Sims emote and then he does the weird whatever on the red carpet. This guy almost felt like he was like a computer generated man. He's just in the thing. He's doing the words. He's spelling things out, but he's like a half second delayed behind everyone else. Just looks like an absolute nerd. I kind of appreciate it, but also like if that guy's your owner, I'm sure you love the passion, but wish maybe he was a little more with it. It was like Bill Gates when he did the dab and he was like,
Well, Robbie, if you're not familiar with Ballmer, that's an all-time video when they're singing "Start Me Up" at the Microsoft like launch or something. What was that, Clem? Like
Yeah.
1,000 or something? It's
he's
like,
in that video?
yes, dude. Yes.
He was a Microsoft guy and then he owned the Clippers?
Correct.
That's how he made
Yeah.
his money.
Oh shit. Well, there you go. I saw him once and I was like, he reminds me of Bill Gates. Had no idea he was a Microsoft guy.
Yes,
He's
dude. Yeah.
he's fueling that video. Like Bill Gates is being the nerd doing nerdy things, and then Ballmer's like a fucking it seems like cocaine. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's
I could beg a
incredible.
Microsoft guy when I see one.
It's electric. Clem, what do you got?
At some point, I forget, like, I don't know where Rob Ford stopped and where Steve Ballmer began. I feel like he just, like, in our terms of our internet lives, like, he was always around, like you said, Eddie, for years. But, like, there was a time where you didn't hear from Ballmer. Then he came and became the Clippers owner. And I'm just so happy for those Clipper fans. Like you said, Bob, like, I think it's at the point where it's so pure. They love it. And this arena, I'm obsessed with this. I think it's called the Intuit Arena. Like anytime I
Yeah,
see
it's
a,
sick.
a thread where it just goes through all the stuff, the scoreboard. I saw they have a fucking just full court just in the sun where you can just play. There's like basketballs. You can just shoot around whenever you want. They have a Ballmer cam, which I heard there's always going to be a camera on them. I love the t-shirt guns and the scoreboard, so everyone can potentially get a t-shirt. I'm like obsessed with that fucking arena. The wall I heard was awesome night one. It was like a legit force. They have standing room only right behind one of the baskets, and you can only get in if you're a legit Clippers fan. You can't sit, I believe, and you just have to. You're just with all the crazies. So I just think he's like the changes he's gonna make are then going to be so much awesome for the next teams to build arena. So I love him. He's like Steve Cohen. I'm like pure uncut Colombian cocaine.
Yeah, like I hope he never stops doing this, right? Because at some point the Cuban stuff got a little old. It's like, all right, how many times are you gonna fight with the refs? How many times are you gonna get down there, pull pranks? Ballmer, it's one of those things where I can't get enough of. And it's just something that needs to continue because their star player, Kawhi Leonard, ain't playing for shit. So they need some type of attraction there in LA for the Clippers and that new stadium. And Ballmer's the guy, clearly.
He's going to be the attraction by like game 20. Like if Harden goes down, like they lost Paul George, and it's just so like that's the thing. Like I don't want people to be like, oh, Ballmer's method didn't work. It was you had to get Kawhi, you had to make the trade for Paul George to get Kawhi, you had to resign Kawhi, and you probably just crapped out. And it's going to take a few years before this arena has a team that's going to be good. But man, like I don't want, like you said, I don't want that spirit to die in him. I need it to continue.
I know it can never die. Ballmer needs to stay Ballmer forever like that. And that's what I even like. I was just watching the Laker game. Was that Tuesday night? And I just tweeted, I was like, watching the Laker game, I miss Jack Nicholson. There's something about
Yeah.
just marquee people, and I know he owns a team, so it's a little different from Jack, but there's just something different when those stadium, Spike Lee, whoever it may be, have that marquee person who kind of brings up the vibe. So I appreciate that. And I'm also not tired of it. Like I know I just said he's relevant because obviously it's the top blog of the day right now on the site. But hand up, personally, no offense. I love Gronk. I think he's a great guy. Not surprised by the story. Kind of over it too. He's still relevant. I still stand by that, obviously, but Ballmer, I'm not sick of it all yet. So
You know what Ballmer is? I imagine you guys, everyone has like one in their life. He's like the friend's dad who's a fucking 20 out of 10 when you're with him. And like, it's cool because you go home to like your regular dad and it's like, all right, whatever. But it's like, I'm not a Clippers fan, so I see him when stuff like this happens. Maybe if you're a Clippers fan, it grows tired when you're, 37 and 45, not in the playoffs. But as a casual fan, I need this man in my life. It just brings a smile to my face every single time.
Next topic here, Corinna Kopf, OnlyFans model, YouTuber, Vlog Squad. She has announced that she is retiring from OnlyFans after making a cool $67 million in 3 years. Yeah, that's going out on top, folks. Robbie?
$67 million.
Yes.
I think Kareem wrote the blog on this and said this would put her in the top 80 players in the NBA, which would make her far and away the number one player in the NHL. I mean, this would be like if she put out like an indie movie that made $67 million, it would be like a massive hit. I can't even wrap my head around the numbers. I think it was, they said it was like 22 over 3 years or whatever. It's just like, holy fuck. Thank God for the Glenny Balls of the world who support these queens, have shows like OnlyFans where they could go on and promote themselves. I think credit to Glenny Balls. That's my takeaway from this.
Clem?
I mean, that's always my takeaway on anything. Credit to Glenny Balls. But I think the OnlyFans, actually, no. I think the YouTubers was the first time where money just stopped being real when I saw the numbers that people were making to do stuff on the internet. And then the OnlyFans was second. And again, it's like, well, why would I pay for that if I could get, pictures of girls for free, videos of girls, everything's at your fingertips. It's a different world. This name, it's a name I've seen 100 times on the internet, and I still have no clue. She just, did she get famous just by being a hot girl that went on OnlyFans? Or was she like an influencer first, then, took everything off on OnlyFans?
She was with David Dobrik in that Vlog Squad. So she was
another guy. I don't know who that is, but I've heard that it was like the Vlog Squad. Was that the house in LA or whatever?
One
Yes.
of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of content houses.
And then
And he was the one with the excavator. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swung his friend around.
Yep.
Hit him, big tragic accident.
And
They're
Dave's
both
guy,
also
Josh Richards, was he a part of that?
What'd you say?
Dave's guy, Josh Richards, was he a part of that crew?
No.
Okay, I don't want to get my vlogging crews, confused or anything here. Speak out of pocket.
Yeah, no, not that same crew. But honestly, also I didn't even mention, and I don't know if they flashed the picture yet or not. But if you haven't flashed it now, awesome way to announce your retirement. She's basically just tweeted, "No more link in bio," which
That was good.
Yeah,
A plus.
Very good. It's also one of those things where you never know. That's one of those things where they say, Shawn Michaels is retired forever, but once the Saudis or whoever calls, like she might be putting that link back.
Wait, don't bring that up, Eddie. Don't bring that up. He was the one we held on to. He stayed retired and then he came out. It was the worst match ever. It was though. Was it Marshawn Lynch that did the shoelaces on? It was the shoes hung over the wire. Like that was her version of that, and it worked.
Agreed. Like that, that's funny you say that, Robbie. That popped in my head too. Marshawn Lynch. It was during the Super Bowl too.
During the Super Bowl, it was badass. Yeah,
it was just
great.
a peace sign and
Yeah.
the cleats on a wire. So that was good job. Well played by Corinna.
Yeah.
If she does it, do you think she brings back Betty, your boy, maybe the MJ I'm back, and it's just a link? It's like, because
she's got Chicago ties, so she's got it in it. No.
They're like the hornies right now are having a bad day, and they're like, I had my chance, and or I didn't, I let the subscription run out, whatever. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, I believe is the term. So she could probably raise that price 10x and get them all back. Lest we forget, again, another legend on the Barstool blog back in the day. When Heather Brooke came back, it stopped the internet for a brief moment back in the day.
Very brief. What happened to her?
She got a lot of work done, so I think it
Oh,
wasn't the girl you grew up loving. It was a little different. Girl next door started looking like the girl from like Hollywood with a lot of plastic. So it was a big change. She came back though, and KFC told her to wear a Jordan 45 jersey. She didn't. It got lost in translation to 45, so she wore 23. But if she had come back wearing the 4-5 like Jordan, I mean, just an all-time legendary moment to go on top of all her other legendary moments. We'll just leave it at that.
Other stuff here, our guy Elio, the Iceman, he's on.
This is great.
He's flying to Detroit. I like it. Elio's a pizza man. He's going to Little Caesars Arena to kind of break the cold streak. It's all you can do. It's showing a lot of heart there on Elio. All right, so we got anything?
I consider myself an Iceman. I consider myself, part of the Ice crew. And that's the kind of guy I can get behind. A guy who's actually looking to make changes. He doesn't talk about it. He is about it. He be about it. And that's why I'm a little guy to the day I fucking die. Also, Tony's Pizza. I was like, I didn't know what I was going to get from it at the One Bite Festival. Unbelievable pizza, great pizza. And I mean, if you're not an Elio guy, you have a lot of problems. You have to look into your soul. So that's the kind of guy that gets shit done. And now I understand why Dave Portnoy loves him so goddamn. He's the best. I fucking love Elio, man.
I love Elio. I'm an Iceman myself. I love tailing the Iceman himself. I love how much Dave loves this gimmick of Elio's. The Iceman gimmick, the ripping the shirts off, even him talking about it on Unnamed today, he couldn't get through a sentence without giggling and being like, this guy's flying at Detroit for points. Like he's telling his family he's going to get goals. He's going to will them into existence. It is one of the greatest like gambling things we have going on, I think, as well. It's just fun to get involved when Elio, he's going to be ripping his shirt off at the end of the game with his family in the background looking at him like, oh my God, I can't believe we're putting up with this again.
Now, what happens? What happens if he goes back home without a win? Can he go back home, or does he have to keep traveling until he gets one?
He's just on the road till he gets a win.
Guy's a family, has a business, a wife. Like he can't just stay on the road. But like if showing up doesn't work, what's the next step?
I think he's got to keep going. Then you got to drive down to Pittsburgh, and then if that doesn't work, then you keep going west, come to Chicago. And
maybe you bring the Icemen in. Maybe it's an emergency ice con. We need all the troops we can get in the arena to will on this goal. The last time they did ice con, they had the goalie pulled. Like literally the Icemen were screaming at the coaches until they pulled the goalie.
And it did not win, I believe, if I remember.
No, they were like one goal away or whatever, but it was like, hey, now they're due.
Yeah.
Robbie, you touched on this really quick too with Dave. You guys know this. We're all Dave guys. We love Dave. All our lives to him. There's nothing worse than if Dave is following you to the point where every mistake you make, because when Elio gets cold, the Iceman gets cold, Dave gets hot, and he just
we hear about it. Yeah.
Punishing him, and it's all like innocuous stuff. Like I'm rooting for you, Elio, and it's like, oh, I just feel so bad for him. But you know what? You become best friends with Dave Portnoy. That's part of the fucking game. That's part of the prize with it.
After show here. Sounds like the Tate vote's going to happen on Monday. Robbie, you're obviously getting a vote, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
It's like I go back and forth. After the Unnamed show today, my vote was probably going to be yes in just terms of like this. He said it wasn't going to ruin his life. He says we need him in the New York office. He did great in the New York office. I wasn't bothered by him in the New York office. I think the more the merrier. We need the bodies. We need all the help we can get, obviously, to change the narrative. So I think I was going to vote yes. Now on the Unnamed, he seemed kind of sad about the whole thing. We don't want to ruin a guy's life. So I don't know. I would still say I'm an undecided voter. I was happy that he apologized and cleared some things up in terms of when he came at the whole New York office and called all of us lazy and kind of encouraged the narrative that we were the lazy office. I think that rubbed all of us the wrong way, even the big guns in the New York office. So I thought he did a good job clarifying and apologizing for some of that stuff today. It'd be nice if that came in a blog as well, but we'll see.
Clem, anything on this?
No, I mean it's fascinating. I thought it was going to be a layup that he was going to end up there based on the last week. I do think his play on the name show might go a little differently. I think time heals all wounds, so maybe people loosen up a little bit. At the same point, like I can't blame either side. I can't blame him for not wanting to go. It seems like he's pretty happy there in Chicago. I mean, what time is Eddie? From this, you're going straight to the aromatherapy massage for you, right? Where everyone's getting their massages together, and then you're being fed filet mignon after that. So it's like that, or have to be grinding out a bunch of content in New York. There is a difference, but also like kind of like with Elio, right? It's like I say I want Elio to travel because I want all the content that's going to come out of it. Me, I don't have to travel like that. Elio would fucking have to hate having to drive to Pittsburgh, go here, go there. In the same sense, it's kind of like Barstool's one big reality show. Tate going to New York is a new part of this Barstool world that's kind of fun and exciting to see how it all shakes out. I do think some good shit could come out of it, I think some like organic stuff, but it'll be interesting. I mean, I know if I was getting bullied, I'd be feeling one way about it, but it's like, seems like Kelly Keegs was kind of on the fence about, maybe a no vote. So I'll be fascinated to see the way it all shakes out. Bob, do you know, is he coming to New York? Is it going to be like a live?
I think so. I think so. I think they want like an actual like Survivor like production, like they were talking about on the rundown. So, like I think it's gonna look like Surviving Barstool looked essentially.
That's
Damn.
incredible. What do you think, Ed, out of
I thought
Chicago?
Kelly did a good job today on the Unnamed show as well. I thought Kelly did a good job of really explaining like where she's coming from on all her points. I feel like even maybe she got through to Tate a little bit on that.
I love that there are going to be people talking next week and even this week about voting, and there are going to be so many wires crossed about their actual presidential
The
election
vote.
versus a guy moving to fucking New York because he's in a controversy. That makes me laugh.
A blog controversy.
Who you will, but it's like, I don't know. I don't like, I like this as
Like
much.
I don't talk politics, but I'll tell you who I'm voting for in the election.
Your random people ask, and it's like, oh, there's an election. Like fucking Marty, he's got no idea what election day is. He's like, oh, I thought you were talking about Tate. There's 100% chance. So yeah, that makes me laugh.
A one-on-one company, this place. It's a one-on-one fucking
Yeah.
circus at all hours of the day. And it'll be interesting to see the way it shakes out.
Yeah. All right then, fellas. Anything else?
Pub Punk Halloween show coming up. Clem's going to be coming in. New Haven, Toad's Place, legendary venue on the day after Halloween. So it's Friday, November 1st. We're dressing up. There's going to be a huge cash prize for the best costume, like a legit cash prize. So get your costume ideas ready. I'm excited for it. I just wanted to plug it.
Clem's going to Pop Punk.
He is.
Eddie, my wife was shaking me down about, she's like, so can we go to this when I told her about it? Or she saw it on, social media, November 1st. And she's like, I'll get a baby. I already got the babysitters lined up, this and that. And I was like, and someone I think Robbie had actually told me, goes, by the way, it's game 6 of the World Series. If the Mets, make it, which obviously I'd be streaming or doing something. So I was like, shit, this is going to be a problem. My wife's going to be really upset that we're going to miss this, but this is mommy's big night out, basically, it sounds like. So we booked a babysitter, already have the costumes ready. We're bringing back one of our oldies but goodies from when we were young and actually got to enjoy Halloween instead of taking a bunch of snotty-nosed brats out trick-or-treating. So it's going to be a good night out for the Clem. So if you're in New Haven, we're gonna have ourselves a hell of a time.
Do you have your pizza reservation booked already?
Ed, it's funny you should say that. So last time I was there, I went to Modern and Sally's. I got to meet the actual oven of Sally's. They took me to meet a celebrity, and I've never been to Frank Pepe's, the original. I have another one that I go to that's not far from me. However, I've already had their pizza, so I'm going to put that list. I'm going to Bar Pizza, which has apparently an incredible mashed potato pizza. And
Ooh.
they have, Ed, I love this. They have the Thanksgiving pizza that time of year. I'm hoping it'll be on the menu. It'll be November 1st. It's turkey, gravy, stuffing, mashed potatoes. If they have that, we're going to do that. And then across the street, Lewis Lunch, the place that made the first hamburger. So I've already have all the food reservations
Wow.
are in line. We just have to see if the Thanksgiving pizza will be on the menu. So the people at Bar, if you're watching, you can put that on the menu November 1st. Tell you, you have one customer locked in.
I knew Clem had it all planned out. That's my guy. Like
Oh
that's
yeah, he's got the food tour. Like if you're coming to the show, plan a food tour. It's such a great food town.
and I can only hope, Robbie, that you got some offspring queued up for this man.
Hey, we might. Offspring interview out today as well.
There we go. All right. I love it. All right, boys. It's always a delight to talk to you guys. So I hope you guys have a great Thursday. That's the rundown, and the rundown will be back on Monday. They will see you then. Who's ever doing it?